Hey Eva, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to see you again. How was your Thanksgiving?
Good, thank you. How about yours?
It was good. 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 Well, I'm glad you're here. I just want to kind of go through and the first time we met, we talked a lot about confidentiality and expectations of treatment. And then last time we really talked a lot about what brought you here and your history and some of the concerns that really both you and your roommate were having about your behavior and some of the changes that you guys have seen since last year, pulling away some from friends, from school, maybe drinking a little bit too much sometimes. We also talked about your family and some of the stress of finding out what's going on with your mom and your parents' marriage. So is there anything else that you had thought of that maybe we could have talked about, or something else that you'd like to add to this?
No, not really. I mean, I think you summarized it pretty well.
Okay, okay, good. Were you able to make it home for the holidays, or did you stay around here?
I went home and it was awkward and weird, and I just tried to get through it and get back to school, basically.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here then. Because today, really what we're focusing on is you did a really good job last session of, identifying things, how you want to make some changes. And you had said, I think your words were that you wanted to get back to your old self. Um, so as so today, really what we're going to do is put together some goals, put together a plan of things that we can work on to get you to where you want to be. Maybe get you to when you are with your family, it's a little bit less awkward. When you are at school, you're back to exactly who you want to be. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I mean,
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Good, good. Okay. All right. So, where do you think a good place to start would be? What are some things that you think make sense to start working on?
Well, I guess this keeping this secret in my family is
Mhm.
tearing me apart. Um,
Okay.
so figuring out a way to deal with that
Okay.
um, probably would be number one.
Okay. And is there anything else that you'd like to work on?
Um, it, I mean, it seems like a lot of things stem from that. So
Mhm.
that's definitely my number one. And then everything, all the other stuff, I think I'm gonna feel a lot better about school and about friends and about all those things if I can get this one terrible thing sort of dealt with.
Okay. Okay. So, coming to a place where you feel better about what's going on with your family, what would you say your goal would be? Where could we start to come to a place where you're less stressed about what's going on with your family?
Um, well, I'm resentful of my
Okay.
mom for putting this on my shoulders,
Right.
and a part of me wants to just say, "That isn't fair that
Right.
you're basically ruining my life by making me keep your secret."
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and part of me wants to just go to her and tell her that, but I'm not sure what what good that would do, you know?
Hmm. So it sounds like what you're saying is, um, and it's understandable that you are resenting your mom for putting a lot of this stress on you and putting it solely on you and asking you to keep a secret for her.
Yeah.
And you want to be open with her about how you're feeling about this. Is that
Yes.
right? And with this, you would want to kind of rebuild a some sort of relationship with her, a healthier relationship with her. Is that right?
It is. It's a lot harder to do than, it's easy for me to say it to you, but like when I was
Hmm.
home with
Hmm.
everyone and it was so awkward, there were moments where I wanted to tell my brother and sister. There are moments when I wanted to and every time I thought, I can't do this. This is going to ruin everything.
Okay.
Um, so it's a lot harder than it sounds.
Right. Right. Okay. So what would be a good first step in order to rebuild this relationship with your mom?
I guess maybe being more open with her and not carrying all the stuff on my shoulders.
Okay. So talking to her about how you're feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have done it over Thanksgiving,
Mhm,
but I
mhm,
didn't. And maybe it's because I was too scared to do it, but I
mhm,
know that it's a conversation that needs to happen.
mhm. So when you said that it was an awkward visit and did you guys just completely avoid talking about anything like this?
Yeah, it was just sort of business as
Okay,
usual in the family. And all I could think
okay,
of was, wow, my mom is cheating on my dad with some mystery man, and I don't know who it
right,
is.
right,
And, I felt bad for my dad. Um, and then I wondered, like, not is it my dad's fault, but like, is there something wrong with their marriage that I don't understand? Like, it just
right,
suddenly,
right,
it put all these doubts into my mind.
right. Okay. Okay, so how would you feel about having a conversation with your mom? Either calling her, but setting up a time to talk to her about this. Do you feel like that could be a good first step?
I mean, I would hate it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure it would help. It would take a lot of courage for me to do that.
it would. Yeah, it would be a really difficult conversation to have. Do you feel like you're ready to do that?
That's a very good question. I don't know if I'm ready to do it. I
Mhm.
don't know what it would take to get me ready to do it.
Right. What about maybe that's our goal instead of rather than talking to your mom yet, what about our goal being that we talk about it and we talk about, things that you want to make sure you address. And we can even role play some, conversations with your mom and just so you feel more comfortable and more confident when you do talk to her. Is that something that sounds more realistic?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Because the idea
Okay.
of starting from scratch and trying to figure out what to say to her without knowing anything that I'm
Okay.
about to say is terrifying.
Right, right. Okay. So within the next week, we'll set up another appointment and we can go over and talk about, different ways to talk to her and role play some different things. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yes. Yeah, that does
Okay.
sound like a good plan.
Okay, good. What else do you think will help, you move forward so you don't feel like all the stress of your parents' relationship is on you? What else do you think could be helpful?
Well, I mean, I'm worried about them finding out that my grades are going down the drain, and that's going to be a whole other conversation.
Okay.
And I don't quite know what to do about that. Um, I have, there's still a few weeks left in the semester, and then I go back for Christmas
Mhm,
vacation, and then I gotta maybe deal with it all over again with the pressure of this.
mhm,
I just feel like it's hanging over my head, and with me not doing well in school, it's sort of twice as bad, because they're
mhm,
gonna find out.
mhm, mhm. So it sounds like kind of really what our goal here is more open communication with with both of your parents, with both your mom and your dad about what you're going through. Is that right? And on
Yeah,
the one hand, we're going to be talking about how to talk to your mom about the stress that she's put on you with what you found out about her relationship. And now we're also needing to be open with your parents about what's going on with you academically and with your grades.
yeah, and I
Okay.
think I have to be really careful not to just yell at my mom and say, "I'm getting D's and F's because of you."
Right, right, right. Okay. And have you talked to, I know last week or last time we had met, I'd asked you if you'd talked to your advisor or guidance counselor or anything about your grades and how you're doing in your classes. Have you done that yet?
I haven't.
You haven't, okay.
I haven't.
Is that something that you would be open to doing, is talking to your guidance counselor about, is there any way that you can, try to make up some work, or for them to help you out, with what's going on with some of your classes?
Yeah. Yeah, that is something I know I need to do. It's like another conversation that I dread having.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, okay. So do you know who your guidance counselor is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
We haven't met, but I do know who it
okay,
is. I mean,
okay,
that's a conversation that's easier for me because it's not somebody that I have so much invested in as my parents. I can make that happen. It will be unpleasant, but it's something that
right.
I know I need to do, and I'm motivated, a little bit more motivated to do that.
Right, okay. So what would be the best way for you to reach out to your guidance counselor? Would it be email, or would it be phone call, or does he have open office hours?
She said I could email whenever she wanted, and I think she'd probably be she'd get back in touch with me, and we could set up a time to talk.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, when do you think you would be able to email her? Just so we can, because the end of the semester is coming up. So when do you think you would be able to email her?
Right when I get off with you here, I could probably
Okay,
email her.
okay, so email her today,
Yeah.
and then set up a face-to-face appointment, or however she would like to proceed from there, as soon as possible. Does
Yeah.
that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, do you think I should tell her what's going on in my life, or just say I've got some
Mhm.
family problems that are happening and I don't want to go into them?
I would tell her what you're comfortable telling her, but I think exactly what you just said makes sense, is that you have a lot going on personally, and that you are, seeing me. And this would be a time, remember that first session we had, we talked about releases of information, where if it would be helpful for me to be able to communicate with her, then you could sign that release of information stating that I can talk to her. And we could talk a little bit about, maybe your struggles or something, if it would be helpful for you and her. But
Okay.
I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and I think she would definitely understand that and be willing to work with you to try to get you caught up a little bit with this semester.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think of that? Does that
Yeah,
make
that sounds
sense?
like a good plan.
Okay, okay. All right, and that's something too that, the next time we meet, we can talk about a little bit more. Once you get the email started and you start moving forward and getting back on track academically to where you can be, if there's still a little bit of uneasiness in how much you share or how things are going, we can keep talking about it then too. This plan that we're putting in place, it's flexible. We can keep, changing and making, whatever necessary changes to it.
Okay. That
Does
sounds
that
good.
sound good?
It does. It
Okay.
does. Thank
Okay.
you.
Of course. So what I have right now is, really our goal is to relieve some of the stress that you're carrying on you with what's going on with your personal life, with your family. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to meet within this week to talk about ways to talk to your mom about the stress that you're under, and we'll do some role playing. We'll come up with some different ideas. Okay.
Okay.
And then the second thing we're going to do to get back on track here is we're going to you're going to email your guidance counselor today and start moving forward with getting back on track academically.
Okay. That
Does that
sounds, those both sound like good plans.
okay? Okay, well then we'll be in touch and we'll set up our appointment for within this week, okay, to get started.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks, Eva.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right,
Bye.
yeah, bye.